Okay, Dale Little here with Rescue American Ministries. I've got 4 containers. It's getting a little breezy out here. And you can see the old bottom is ripped out of that one. I've had water in all of them, but that one was hit right at the bottom, and so it lost all the water. And we'll see if it stays up there. We'll go for it first, see if it'll stay up there till make the throw. Anyway, I've got 5 containers. I've got 6 knives. 3 are identical, 3 of the trades, and then I've got 3 knives that are all different. And so we'll see what we can do. 6 knives to take down 5 targets. I took down 3 of them a while ago in my first round. And my camera is about ready to fall over also. Well, didn't go exactly as planned, but they went down. And one got jarred down because it hit the target. Just jarred it off. Anyway, that's something we're going to practice with a little bit. We'll concentrate first on hitting the target, and then once we get that down, we'll work on getting the right rotation and where the blade will hit first. Right now I'm just getting the target acquisition and getting on target with it. Just remember that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And just like that old song says, he's not only God of the mountain, he's God of the valley also. And that come right out of scripture, out of 2 Kings, I think it is, maybe 17. But King Ahab was ready to go out to battle after God told him he'd give him the victory, because Ben-Hadad in Syria had come against them and threatened to take the city of Jerusalem, and with a huge army, I think 30 kings they brought with him. And so, but as they were drinking in the tents, God said, hey, go ahead and take the battle to them. And with a much smaller force, they routed the Syrians and sent them scattering back to Syria, and the other kings back. Now, God told him, said, don't be too excited yet. That's not the exact words, my paraphrase, I guess. But they'll be back before the year's out. And so, sure enough, they came back and regrouped, came back, and again threatened to take the city of Jerusalem. And what reason they came back, what persuaded Ben-Hadad that he could beat them again, was his prophets. And they said this, we fought them on the hills the last time, or the mountains. If we fight them in the plains this time, we'll have the victory, because their God evidently was the God of the mountains, because they believed that you had different gods for different areas, and that's still common today in a lot of places. But hey, guess what? God heard that conversation, and he told the prophet to tell Ahab, that wicked king, what about that? Ahab and Jezebel. God gave him the victory because of his people, not because of Ahab and because of his city, Jerusalem. But he said, because they've said that I'm only a God of the mountains, hey, take them on again. And sure enough, they slew 100,000 Syrians in the battle and sent them back again, and saved Jerusalem from that onslaught. and those nations up there of Syria and later Assyria came to power. They can never take the city of Jerusalem, but of course Nebuchadnezzar later did when they continued to refuse to return back to God after offering sacrifices to idols and worshiping idols, and they did eventually fall. But at that time, as I said, God heard the king of Syria, not Assyria at that time, heard Ben-Hadad's and his prophets say, well, their God's just the God of the mountain. And, I think sometimes God just hears things like that and sees things, and he said, oh, really? I'll show you. And he did. So today, if you got problems, I don't know what your valley is, what your problem is, but God's still in the valley. He's still God, and he hasn't left, he hasn't changed. So depend on him today. If you don't know him, you need to before it's too late. Call on him to save your soul. The Bible says in John chapter 3 getting ahead of myself a little bit. There is scripture that says all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. In John chapter 3 it talks about having to be born again. And also it says that Jesus did not come into the world to condemn the world, because the world was already condemned. It's already condemned. So he didn't come to condemn you or me, but you are already condemned. I was already condemned until I came to him and accepted his sacrifice on the cross for my sins. Made me a new creation. Now I'm still Dale Little. I still have my thoughts and memories, but I've changed. And he'll change you too. Call on him. Dale Little, Rescue American Ministries.